Cha-ching! Oof! That is a sweet, sweet sound of a Seattle Mariners series win. Welcome to Keep It Electric with Tremaine Person. We're going to recap the Seattle Mariners series against the Detroit Tigers today. This is episode 2, sponsored by Sonic Shore. At the time of this recording, it's Sunday afternoon, May the 14th. The Mariners just closed out a series dub, winning 2 out of 3 games over Detroit Tigers, bringing their record to an even 500. 20 wins, 20 losses, sitting in 4th place in the AL West, behind those damn Texas Rangers. So, let's just jump right into this here. The Bats woke up quite a bit in Game 1 against Detroit. The Mariners came out hot, tagged their former teammate and Seattle native, Matthew Boyd, for 6 runs. Poor Matthew. Didn't even make it out of the second inning before getting pulled in a rout. Mariners took that game down to 2. We saw Julio light it up with 3 hits, a home run, 4 ribbies. Ty France continued his hitting streak, got it up to 9 games. Kelenic kept his bat hot. Marco Gonzalez. Quality start from Marco, throwing 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 2 Ks. One of those Ks kind of being left up to judgment there. I think he got the legend Miguel Cabrera with a cutter inside. A little off the plate, but we'll take what we can get. I really do want to mention that it was great to see Julio get his bat going. Showing his versatility with that bat as well. When he went the other way, home run over the right field wall, really displaying how he can hit the ball anywhere. And yeah, that was just a really great sight. Game 2, we saw Teoscar Hernandez steal the show on the offensive side. I don't think that display was really, it didn't overshadow the greatness that we saw out of Bryce Miller. Continued to wheel and deal, and another great performance. He was in a bit of a jam in the first inning. Luckily he had his best friends that he could rely on back there in the field to help bail him out, and then he really got settled in. He put away 16 in a row, retired 19 out of his 20 next batters after that first inning jam. Went 7 innings, allowed 3 hits, struck out 3 batters. Mariners took that game 5-0 and secured the series win. Game 3, I think we saw the Tigers wisen up a little bit. They avoided the sweep. They took the win, 5-3. When I say wisen up, there was another lefty starting that game, and the Mariners got after him, Joey Wentz, and they got Wentz the hell out of there after 2 innings and 2/3. I think the Mariners were really ready to get after that, but they pulled him, and the Tigers were able to win that game, secure that game, 5-3. Logan Gilbert, decent outing, 5 2/3, 6 hits allowed, 3 earned runs allowed, 4 Ks. Gabe Speier was awarded the L. It's not really an award, but he was awarded the L after giving up 2 earned runs. Had the bases loaded. They brought in Matt Wild Thing Brash right now, to bail him out, and Matt Brash proceeded to hit the worst hitter in Major League Baseball, Nick Matone, in the shin area, and then proceeded to walk the next batter, Ibanez, as well, with a pitch that was not even close. Those 2 walks walked in 2 runs, and that left the score 5-3, and that was pretty much all she wrote. Neither team scored for the rest of that game. We saw some really phenomenal defense from the Seattle Mariners. in this series. Watching Julio in game one, the defense was so much fun to watch, and sometimes I forget about how good this defense is. And that's mainly because the focus has been on how not reliable the bats have been lately. But these guys can play some defense. The most fun is watching Haggerty, Julio, and Teoscar cover so much ground out there in the outfield. Teoscar reminds me, a bit of Gino in the smoothness of his play, of his defensive play, because he doesn't look like a guy that runs fast, but he does. He doesn't look like nothing he does looks hard. Him and Gino both have that in common, and that makes it even sweeter. Before we get any further into the show, I just wanted to take the time to wish a happy Mother's Day to all the moms, and especially my mother, Ruth, who's back home in Richmond, Virginia, as well as my sister, Dia, who's also back home in Richmond, Virginia. That's a long way from Seattle, Washington. Just a quick backstory. I'm from Richmond, Virginia, and I chose to move to Seattle, drive across the country just a year ago. And it's super exciting for me to be here. I love this city, and I am a lifelong Mariners fan. So having the opportunity to do this and cover the team to the best of my abilities is really just quite an amazing experience for me. Coming up next for the Seattle Mariners, they're headed to Boston to take on the Red Sox, with George Kirby taking them out on Monday to open the series, followed by Luis Castillo on Tuesday and our boy Marco Gonzalez on Wednesday. Boston is currently fourth in the AL East at 22-18. The AL East is no joke right now. Their last place team are the New York Yankees at 23-19. It's a straight up fight out there right now. It's super fascinating stuff happening over there. This is a series I do believe we can take, but it's going to be close. It's going to be a really tight series in my opinion. There's not a situation in the series where I don't think the Mariners won't be competitive. The Red Sox are a high-scoring team, but they also give up a lot of runs. They're 27th in ERA in all of Major League Baseball. The Mariners are 4th in ERA. But you can kind of flip that because the Red Sox are 3rd in batting average and the Mariners are 27th. So I do feel like there's not a situation that's going to happen in this series where both teams aren't going to be competitive. I think it's going to be really close. And I think what really is going to get us over the hump is our bats in this situation. I think the pitching is going to show up. But the question is, are the bats going to show up? So the pitching is going to keep us in. The bats are going to have to bring us home. So, our bats are dead last in batting average, and we're tied for second in strikeouts. So I think the key here is to show some plate discipline. And if we show some plate discipline, wait for our pitches, I think we have a really great chance for taking this series. All right, and that's going to do it for our series recap. Stay tuned for episode 3 where we dive in on Bryce Miller and his accomplishments at the major league level in only 3 starts. So impressive. You can follow the Instagram page at Keep It Electric. Email me at keepinitelectric@gmail.com if you have any requests for player spotlights, any features, any game time decisions that may have changed. Otherwise, keep it electric. Go Mariners.